And again, we're seeing SF push all 3 caps. That we've seen that from almost every NA team so far, and the 3-prong attack. Now, whenever I played, I haven't played like this style of competitive play, but of course in ranked, I always like to push 2 caps and then kind of let them take the one and we'll battle it over. I like having 2 caps, but it's very interesting to see the 3 caps versus one. So Meryl's just took B cap without being contended. He's gonna get dropped on though, but his AA is going off and potentially gonna take no damage from this. Oh, his AA didn't go off actually, not even needed.
Oh, let's look. Let's look. Looks like he's gonna dodge. Yep.
Yeah, Meryl's is good. He took the cap. He's helping take down some of the planes. He actually didn't even pop AA.
Yeah, and here's another. TTT has pushed into A pretty heavily. They have pushed M4 in North Carolina, Lakanar and a Paev, Grimlock and a Kutuzov, and a Lo Yang in there as well. And they are focusing down Achilles.
Achilles is low.
Yeah, Achilles is already at half health, and it's we're a couple minutes in the match. But TSF does have the cap lead already, and like you said, there is a distinct advantage to having that third DD. And with Meryl switching out, now he's going to have good AA as well. But TTT with Gradius, he is
TCN
on
just
C.
took a big hit as well. TTT right now is in a good spot. Achilles is low. He cannot go dark right now. Piece of Pizza did not drop a smoke form or anything like that. TCN took some decent hit. He's about half life already. So things are not going very well for SF. This is a really, really bad start for them. Although they do have the 2 caps and they are contending the third, they are losing the health. I mean, look at TTT. They're almost full life right now and 2 of the main ships is Colonel Sanders as well as about 3/4 of life, but TTT has taken little to no damage this game.
Yeah, and Achilles I think is in trouble. He has a lot of ships shooting at him. I feel like he needs to get out and try to go dark, kind of like the Amagi from earlier who got away, came back. I think that's what Achilles is, because he has taken a lot of damage. Now, a lot of it could be fire damage, so that's repairable, but I feel like TSF has given up control of A. I mean, I think they got to get themselves out of there, because I think that's a losing fight, considering TTT has, 5 ships over there? No, 4. There's an Amagi kind of split between. But again, TSF has taken the early cap lead. They're up by over 100 points. They're doing some pretty good job blind firing Grimlock here in the Kutuzov in the smoke.
Right now, Crazy Cole just has a free farm on Toonheck, the TTT Amagi. He's pumping out some damage, but TCN taking a lot of damage. Toonheck just going dark right there. But Meryl's able... I mean, this is what you're going to get, right? Look at the fighters left still in the sky. This is how TSF or SF is going to just kind of take this over. If Meryl's can shoot down 1 fighter, if Rhino can shoot down 1 fighter, if Piece of Pizza can shoot down 1 fighter, giving his CV an advantage, I mean, just look at the spotting now. How many of SF can TT see right now?
We can see Achilles. He's been shot at all game, right? We can see Achilles. We can see Colonel Sanders, and we can see D. So okay. So TCN just got spotted. We can see D-Bob. We can see the battleships basically, but everything else tends to be, pretty much in cover. And TCN looks like he's doing a pretty good job trying to get out of here. I don't know if he has shots. He's behind a smoke wall right now, but there is a torpedo wall coming in. It looks like it's from the direction of let's see, south of B towards TTT's main group here. But I don't think any of those are going to hit. I think they were spotted out by the Lo Yang. I think those are going to be misses.
So Rhino just took out an entire squadron of torpedoes himself, just sitting there, kind of laughing at it. So he took an entire squad of torpedoes, and it's going to be Rhino, D-Bob, and Colonel Sanders versus Amazing, the TTT Kutuzov, who is not really at the best of angles right now, but it's 3v3 Kutuzov, and what's the battleship that's over here? Amagi, and there's the Lo Yang. So you're going to have 2 battleships and Rhino pumping in on Gradius, and that will... Oh, Tunic just taking a nice torp. I mean, look at this. This is Animati really pumping in and doing work. If he takes out those fighters from Kulich, he's going to have kind of the air to just control himself and do whatever he wants. So Tunic, obviously going to be taking a flood there and potentially a fire. I don't know if he got it there or not, but Tunic is going to be in some trouble, taking out a lot of damage. And in a bad situation.
Yeah, he's in a terrible spot, to be honest with you. He has really no support. It seems like he's just kind of doing circles, taking damage. Tunic is, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really seem like he has a set, in a sense, of role. He's just kind of roaming and just taking damage. But I feel like, again, going back to the first TTT match, I feel like the TTT carrier is not winning air war. Just like the first game, I feel like, I feel like they're a little behind. Whether that be RNG for fighters, or there are a lot of factors that play.
Look at that. I don't know if you just saw that, but it was Coolich's fighters versus Animati's fighters, and Animati was fighting right over pieces of pizza and absolutely just shredded his planes. Now, Animati's fighter, I think, just went against maybe Kutuzov AA or something like that. But now he has a fighter on the Torp Bomber, and looks like Coolidge might be out of fighters with only one little Torp squad left. And looks like Coolidge was trying to get a little sneaky, going for Achilles. Now Achilles is already back up to 42,000, and it looks like SF has kind of recovered. They're holding 2 caps. They're pretty healthy right now. Try to jump over to Rhino if we can, but right now I think Animati is just absolutely destroying the sky right now. If Pizza Pieces can live through this, and they're gonna have a massive advantage just with being able to spot and holding 2 caps and just kind of pushing them away, especially their DDs. If they find a low gang or they find something like that, Animati's advantage in the sky is gonna be massive for this team.
Yeah, and I think we're having issues over here on the TTT side. I don't know how this group that's at A is gonna successfully get to B, because right now Grimlock in the Kutuzov is broadside, and I know Achilles is out there wanting his revenge. I know he's out there just waiting to get some good shots in. And M4 and Grimlock right here are on the south side of the island in A. So they're actually on the SF side of A, trying to move. They're trying to get to Lakanar.
So watch Tunic right now. Tunic just got... Oh, D-Bob is very, very low. Big hit from Padson. Only down to 302 life. Unluckily, the salvo from the Kutuzov is not going to be on, but D-Bob is down to 300 life as a battleship. Shots are coming in from the Kutuzov. Will this finish him off? Does he have a heal? He's got to get out of there, and down he goes. What a big hit.
What was that hit? Was he trying to turn out? Do we know what that hit was? Because he wasn't spotted.
Merrill's is also going to go down. Look at the middle right now.
Oh man, see, that's... Do you think that SF trying to hold these caps a little bit more aggressively is coming back to haunt him? Because if you look, that Colonel Sanders is pushed way up there, and Gradius, Amazing, and I think his name's Panzo. Sorry if I massacred your name, but they're very healthy, very, very healthy. And I feel Colonel Sanders is way out. I know he has Rhino. I know Rhino is over there. Rhino is a hell of a DD player. Hell of a player overall. And I know he's there, but do you think Colonel Sanders? I mean, he's in a bad spot. I feel it looks like he's beached.
I think he's just he's doing the whole I'm gonna hide thing. Rhino might be taking a torp. There's torps coming in. Rhino looks like he's gonna dodge it, but Colonel Sanders is gonna take 2 torps. Potentially with the flood right there. I don't know if he has the flood right now. I think he's still good right there. But this is going very poorly for SF.
Yeah, and the Low Yang from TTT has control of the B axis with Merrill's dying in there. Grimlock, Lakanar, M4, they're slowly pushing up. And Pieces of Pizza looks like he's kind of not in a position to really... I don't know, he's kind of just out here. Those planes are keeping him spotted. I know Animati's trying to get those dive bombers done, but looks like he's having trouble catching. Looks like those dive bombers are pretty fast without a load, it looks like. I mean, it just... I don't know. TSF looks like they've kind of lost that early lead. And I wonder if they got a little too aggressive to start with. I don't know. Achilles is healthy. Losing D-Bob, I think it was a big thing. And losing Merrill. Merrill's might have been even more important than D-Bob, just because of the and the ability to contest caps.
Absolutely.
Because, now you look at Rhino is still at C. So Rhino is kind of, I mean, I don't think he gets to be in with any speed. And we know where Pieces of Pizza was last spotted, down real low. You know, he's real low. Plus, he's way out of position in the sense of trying to contest the cap. And it looks like TTT is in a very good position. They're held up in smoke between B and A. So if it's going to be really tough for SF to try to get into A because they'll get spotted if they try to go into B, the same thing. And the Chapaya is right in the middle.
I think one of the things that has really hit TSF is they got pretty greedy. They had a terrible start. They had a really bad start to this game, where they just kind of gave away a lot of life. Especially Achilles. You know, Achilles was out of this game for 3 or 4 minutes easy while he was repairing. But the Rhino, Colonel Sanders, and D-Bob kind of hold on C-Cap, and Rhino's taking a big hit. He took a torp, I think a YOLO torp from the CV. Them kind of holding that, going against a battleship DD cruiser over here, especially the Kutuzov, they just weren't able to pump out any damage, and they just kept pushing into it. So all they did was kind of just take damage and not really be able to pump out too much, because as soon as that DD and the Kutuzov smoked up, you know, nothing was spotted, and so they weren't able to pump out any damage. Like Tunic was very low, probably didn't have a repair. They weren't able to take advantage of that. M4 taking damage right now though, and Pieces of Pizza taking ACAT back. So TCN also very low. Pieces of Pizza very low. There's a potential for some switches here, but I think TTT might be able to take this, especially if TCN goes down.
Yeah, well, Piece of Pizza got spotted. He had to use smoke on himself in A, so he is not going to be able to smoke anybody else. But I think at this point he needs to smoke to keep himself safe. And now the low Yang from TTT is pushing Pieces of Pizza.
Oh, 100%.
Pieces of Pizza is very low HP. Pieces of Pizza is a great, but I mean, but Tio from there
down he goes right there.
The low Yang from TTT is low HP.
Oh, down goes M4 though.
M4 took torch and flooded out, so TSF is still holding a slight lead. Colonel Sanders is in trouble though.
Can maybe get a shot on this. Only 900 life left on that low Yang. I'm just looking at purely the score right now. Down he goes. Okay, so TS have it. They're gonna lose Colonel Sanders. He is gonna be going down. They are not really in a position to come back. They do still have a Chappie, so their DD's gonna have to be really careful. But if potentially Crazy Cool can go ham, support Rhino, take out that low Yang, this isn't over. TTT takes the lead right now. But Crazy Cole being in that Kutuzov, TCN, he's just got to basically hide. Achilles can make potentially a good shot on Grimlock. But right now, everything is going for TTT, and really just SF just trying to kind of do what they can with what they have. It would be a lot better for them if they did have a second cap, maybe would put a bit more pressure. But TTT really can kind of just back off, play that late game hide and seek, and just kind of live. And that'll pull home the win for him. Yeah,
TCN, I think, is in a bad. I mean, he has no way. If he backs up or goes forward, he dies. So I think he's in a bad spot. I'm not sure how much fire he can get put down, even behind that island. I mean, he's kind of stuck between X over here. The Kutuzov and the Chapaya are both, you know, reasonably healthy at this point in the game. They're in a tough spot because this Kutuzov and Chapaya, they just have control of B. And if I think it's Crazy Cole that's over there.
Yep, Crazy Cole's in the smoke right now. So so Crazy Cole's in a really good spot. He can put down shots. TCN needs to not die. That's the main thing. He needs to not die this game. Crazy Cole can burn down Tunic. He can. Achilles can put shots on Tunic and help kill him. Tunic might go down right here because he's perma-spotted by that plane right now. So if Achilles can help Crazy Cole with that shot, if they can get the Kutuzov, potentially Rhino needs some help though, and I don't think he's going to really get it. If Rhino can take down Gradius, I don't see too much going for Rhino though, because he's going to have shots in from the Amagi as well. Down goes Rhino. Man, I don't know.
I mean, it looks like Tunic is going to go down. There's shots in on him. Dodges those pretty. He is on fire. I think he's going to go down, but
Tunic will go down, yeah.
The problem I see for S, they have no DDs. They don't have any way to sneak into a cap. And Lakanar he just radared. I think he just radared Crazy Cole.
Yep. So he's okay. So all right, here's the situation we're in right now. That massive salvo did not help Crazy Cole. But what could have potentially happened for SF was Crazy Cole winning this fight against Lakanar. Potentially Achilles putting a big salvo into Grimlock, but I think Grimlock's just holding down angles correctly. What needed to happen is Crazy needed to kill Tunic earlier. Crazy Cole then needed to support Rhino, kill that DD, Rhino stay alive, and that's how they win the game right there. They hold that cap. I think they win off kills. TCN lives, Achilles live. Crazy Cole is going to get that kill, but he can't turn. He's just going to die from Grimlock. He can't do too much, and he's going to be taking another salvo from his right pretty soon if he even makes it through with this next Kutuzov salvo as well. I just think SF's start to this game was just too brutal. They weren't able to recover. They lost too much life. They lost a big gun and Achilles really early because he had to kind of sit and repair, and just kind of snowballed out of control for TTT's favor, really being able to kind of hold down. I just think SF's start to this game was just too brutal, too punishing, and not too much they really could have done. They were getting some really good hits on TCN, which really took him out of the fight as well. I mean, TCN can't do anything. He's just trying to not die.
Yeah, and I mean, Achilles, I think, spotted and pushed it in, but I mean, it's a little too late.
Yeah,
He's gonna get
definitely.
shots on Grimlock, and we all us Battleship players know how it feels to shoot a cruiser that's just sitting there. And I think he got 2 overpins. But SF, I mean, I feel like when Achilles got pushed, when he got pushed out over here at A, I think it caused a lot of issues for them because, like you said, it took a lot of guns out of the fight. And Merrill's dying.
Oh, that's so
11,
brutal.
11
That's so
HP.
brutal.
But 11 HP. You know, I just feel like SF gave up too much HP early.
Yeah, they did.
Let's look real quick at the in battle screen. Let's look at SF. I mean, look, Pieces of Pizza, 30 plane kills. Rhino,
I know,
10,
right?
and Merrill 17. So they had 57 plane kills between the 3 DDs. And Shokaku has 72 in the hangar, I believe.
Yeah.
But I think positioning got SF right there. I think they lost too much HP early, losing a destroyer early, and really the destroyer was their advantage because they brought a third Benson compared to the 2 low Yanks. But
I think what should have happened as I think DD or D Bob, I think him and Colonel Sanders and Rhino was doing fine. He was holding on that cap, and I think that's good to kind of let him do that with maybe a backup with one of those battleships. But I think both of those guys being there, they didn't achieve anything. They didn't achieve anything. They basically got absolutely destroyed by the Kutuzov as well as the battleship and the destroyer just being able to do that. I just don't think you can do that. If I were them, I would have been a bit more safe, I would say. Imagine if Achilles had another gun on that side or just another body to tank. I think that it would have been a much better situation for him to do that. Maybe Rhino can babysit one of the battleships and just kind of hold down that side. But for them to just kind of give away 2 battleships, like, they didn't even trade life pools. There's no way. That Kutuzov was still at whatever 2/3 life, and that other battleship I think was damn near full life. They just didn't do enough, and of course D-Bob taking that massive salvo when he was trying to make that turn. Not much you can really do. I mean, that's just the game, right? But you're just, that meant your positioning was bad in general.